Welcome to another edition of BS with Bob, the podcast where we talk business, entrepreneurship, marketing, and the real stories behind building something from nothing. I'm Bob, that's Monique, and Chanel is joining us. You're not the number 5, you are the original, aren't you?
I have to be the number 1 because I don't have space to share. No.
Love it.
So Chanel, the reason we're talking to you is that I found one of your reels on Facebook. I was scrolling through, and Monique and I want to start a lemonade stand, and I saw your video, and I watched it, and I texted you, and I'm like, hey, let's talk. And you told me you're a radio personality at one time and that you're a comedian. And then you tell me later that you're BSing about the comedian thing. And
on my Facebook, it didn't have the option to choose like what category that we are. Like it doesn't have like beverage trailer, like mobile, whatever. It has like food establishment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that's no fun. So I'm a comedian, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monique, did you get that out of our original conversation?
Yes.
Yes. Hello.
So let's talk about lemonade. So how did you, or why did you decide that Chanel wants to be a lemonade maker?
Okay,
because you're trying to steal money from little kids out there selling 25-cent lemonade?
Well, their parents I'm trying to steal it from, actually.
Got it.
Okay, well, it's a loaded question. Are you ready to hear like the whole thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So back in 2016, my husband and I had like a series of unfortunate events. One of the events had been going on for like a long time, and then it was finalized, and we ended up being victims of legal malpractice in the family law system. And my kid's dad died within a span of 2 months. It was a really, really horrible time. And the malpractice, we literally lost everything. It's a long story, but we ended up having to owe the opposing party like over $200,000. And um, at the time, my husband, like he worked valet his whole life, no education, like no nothing. And I was a substitute teacher going to school. And we literally lost everything. We did sue the attorney, we won, but in Nevada, they don't require malpractice insurance. And so we got what we paid him, and that money went directly to the opposing party's attorney. And it's a whole thing. And that kind of just sets the tone for where I'm about to go. We lost everything. We like could not afford to live because the legal system doesn't give a shit if you can pay it or not. And it was what kind of happened was like, you know how you go to court, or if you go to court, somebody's suing you, and a party doesn't show up, and regardless of who that party was, the other party wins by default. Essentially, that's what happened to us. Is even though we showed up, because of what our attorney did, like the opposing party like won by default.
Yeah.
So we lost everything, and we were going to be homeless basically, and we moved to Missouri, and we lived on my in-laws, my husband's parents, so my in-laws property, in like a really small mobile home. And we started this commercial cleaning business. It was literally just out of necessity. And I'm a passion-driven person. So like, and we had nothing. Like we literally had nothing. We had to start something from nothing, and we were grinding every possible way we could. And so we started that. It actually started to do really well, but I felt for a long time a lot of resentment because I was like, I sold my soul to the devil, like doing this, because I have a degree in business. Like I wanted to go to school like I was gonna teach. Like that was my long-term thing, where like I always wanted to teach. And I couldn't do that because I suddenly also had to pay this person, and you can't pay anybody on a teacher salary. So it was like I was constantly figuring out, okay, what's the next move? Then I started doing permanent makeup. I found somebody that trained me to do permanent makeup. I love doing permanent makeup. I've been doing that for like 6 years, but I started to feel really anxious in the fact that that kind of business and our cleaning business is not the kind of business that you can just take with you somewhere. And so everything we were doing was like keeping me here, which like really made me super depressed. It was just really hard. It made me really depressed. Then I wanted to start just doing something more for me that like served my long-term goals. But because we always had to do like we had to make right now money to pay this stuff. Also I was a surrogate twice. So I had a baby for a family in China in 2021. And then I had another baby for a family in 2024. And that helped.
What have you been doing with your life? Holy cow. Sounds like you're doing nothing.
She's not busy or anything.
No, I'm like the busiest person I know with like it's actually insane.
I
But
need to sit down. I'm sitting down now. I need to kick my feet up after listening to all this. I'm like, holy smokes.
I know. And I was like really, really depressed for a long time because of this, whole situation, which like who wouldn't be? Well, I'm also navigating the loss of my kid's dad, and so are they, and they're going through the hardest time. It was a really, really hard time. And just kind of this feeling of I was doing all of these things to serve other people and not myself and get by. And the surrogacy was amazing because I was able to, we bought our house. We were able to pay off a lot of the issue, right? But I still had not done anything for me. Like I took my family on vacation, we bought a house. And I'm not saying not all of that is great. Like all of that's amazing, right? But none of that was like just for me. And I know that sounds like kind of selfish and maybe slightly ungrateful, but like when everything you do is for the greater good of everyone around you, but you don't really have anything for your own soul that's like just for you, which because of the kind of person I am, like I'm a passion driven person. So like I needed something for me that was just for me. Creative. I'm a highly creative person. I love to decorate. I love to draw. I like did theater and choir my whole life. Like I just have like this like artsy thing in me that like needs an outlet. And everything that I did didn't have that. Plus everything that I did was like, the cleaning business. It's like, why am I cleaning toilets? Like I shouldn't, that's not who I am. Like I
Right.
can't do that. Some people can do that and that's great, but I cannot. Yeah.
Out of necessity.
And then doing permanent makeup, I like doing that. But then it started, like I said, started to be this thing. It's like, how you go to your hairdresser and you talk to them about your life? Like, yeah, no, you're exempt from that. But like, then you absorb all of your clients' things that are happening. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Become a therapist, honestly.
When you're going through your own stuff and it's really hard.
Yeah.
And randomly, so we did have a hot dog cart briefly, but during COVID, we sold it. It was really cool and it was really fun. But I didn't want to do food again. And I randomly just started following this girl on TikTok that went to, I should probably give her credit. It's Liz Loves Lemonade. And her parents, when she graduated high school, were like, you can't take out loans. We're not going to pay for school. You have to figure out how you're going to pay for college because you are going to go. And she started a lemonade tent. And then it developed into this like huge thing. And she has a horse trailer. Hers is like different than mine. But hers grew into this big thing. And she put herself through pharmacy school. She was able to pay off all of it. And I was like, well, I bartended a long time. I worked in the restaurant for a long time. I liked having the hot dog cart. I was like, I'm going to do this lemonade stand thing. And funny you say the thing about the mobile bar because I bought what we have from a lady who did mobile bar and she did like weddings and everything. And I was like, oh, we'll do lemonade and mobile bar. So we'll be able to like reach these two demographics and have more bookings. Well, kind of same with you. The mobile bar portion now here, I don't know about, where you are, but the mobile bar portion, it's expensive for insurance.
And you have to jump through hoops to do it, and you need a liquor license, and you need all kinds of things that I never thought you needed to have.
So we don't need a liquor license here. There are ways around it.
Yeah.
If you're not directly selling liquor. So like if you were to do a wedding and have you're essentially pouring for the wedding, what would have to happen is that you would have them, like you'd make a list of everything, you'd curate the drinks, right? You'd make a list of everything. They have to go buy it, you pour it because you're not selling it, right? You pour it, they have to buy it. But then it does become more complicated, especially for that kind of event. There's usually occasional bridezillas. Parents can be difficult.
Mhm.
Insurance is still expensive. They don't
Right.
make it's really, really hard to find mobile bar insurance. Um, and so there's one-time insurance, and it was like $300 per event. Now it
Ugh.
depends on how
Holy
many
man.
people they're serving.
So
So
how much?
then
How much is the insurance for lemonade?
liability for me was $700 a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's
Just
kind of
a
go. Let's kind of go. Get back
general
on track to the
liability,
Yeah.
right?
to the
So
lemonade
we
part.
ended up just doing lemonade. And
Okay.
it has far surpassed anything that we had even thought it would do. I got it to just have fun and have this be this fun outlet for me. And now next year we're gonna go full time with it. And
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Because I don't know if you saw, we have 2 trailers now.
I didn't. So explain to me what do you have, Chanel, as for your for your business for Lively Lemon Lemonade? What is it that you guys have and own and do in order
Okay.
to make your business work?
So we started with this horse trailer. It's just like a two horse trailer. It's not very big. It's like 11 by 7. And
Uh-huh.
we started selling lemonade out of this. And we kind of picked up events here and there, but we were able to make our money back in just a few months with doing pretty minimal events cuz like I said it was our first year. And then this year came around and I just told my husband, I was like, I really think that this could be a big thing. And I think that we should get a second trailer. And he thought I was crazy, but I usually pull off anything I set my mind to. And so then I did a custom trailer through China and I started working on it in January and we got it the first week of June. So now I have 2 trailers. I also bought a tent setup. We don't do the tent setup very often, but we will do it if the event calls for something that's you can only do inside and you can't get a trailer inside.
Okay.
Um so we'll do the tent setup, which also, I don't know what video you saw, but I've been starting to teach people how to do the tent setup. Just because there's much less investment with that and you can still make significant money. The only reason I started out in a trailer is because I had money from surrogacy that I bought
Mhm.
the trailer and I had it and but I understand a lot of people don't. But you can start a tent setup for around $1,000.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
so how do you set your pricing? I know that I've watched a lot of videos where people have lemon for a 32-ounce lemonade anywhere from $5 up to $8, and then they add, juices or whatever
Mhm.
or flavorings for another dollar or $2, and then candy and all this other bullshit that they do. I mean, how do you how do you come up with the same, or how do you come up with I'm going to charge $7, I'm going to charge $8, I'm going to, how did you decide what your pricing will be?
Okay, so I did, some market research. I looked around and saw what was around us and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to be, I don't want to say more expensive, that's not it, but my whole setup is not just lemonade. It's a brand, it's an experience. My trailers are very boutique, there's a look to it, people take pictures with it, it's a whole thing. It's like going to Disneyland, you're going to pay to go to Disneyland. You're gonna pay a little bit more, you know what I mean,
Right.
for something
Yeah.
that's special. Now, I'm not outrageous by any means, but, I think ours are a dollar more than what is, in our surrounding area, but nobody has ever complained about it. I mean, you get, what you pay for. It's people love it, people love
So
it. But
what do you
I did do some market research and I looked around, and plus you have to consider, and I will say, some people don't charge enough for their product.
Right.
Mhm.
What do
Don't
you
charge enough.
charge? What
I
is
charge
so do you
I charge $8 for a 32
do you
ounce lemon.
for 32? So
Is that
what is your cost breakdown for that?
So it's about, well, we make our profit margins are about 83%. So we make
Okay.
83% on it. Now, granted, that doesn't include that's just the profit portion. That's before we pay out sales tax and actual taxes and stuff.
Mhm.
And depending on what city, county we're in, whatever, that changes. But 83, 84% is our markup for it.
No, have you had any pushback on that at all? With with an $8 cost for a 32-ounce lemonade?
No, because I mean, if you do get pushback, and I don't say this to be like any kind of disrespectful to anybody, but like if you get pushback, it's from people that literally know nothing about running a business, you know?
Mhm.
Well, I work as a
Like,
bartender, and I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, how can you guys charge $7 for a? Because
well,
I'm here
because
making
and
it for you, and you know what I
yeah,
mean?
and people, you have to factor in like what your time is worth also, right? So
Right.
like yeah, you're in there, you're selling these drinks for $8, but like it's not you don't just go and suddenly have lemons and sugar and water and cups and stickered cups, and you don't have like that didn't happen the moment you arrived. You went to the store, you did branding, you ordered stickers, you took the time to sticker thousands of cups. You had to go to Sam's Club, you have to order, you have to do all your inventory. Like, it's time consuming. People think that
Mhm.
you just, show up and suddenly a drink appears and like you're just making all this insane money off of it. Like, yeah, it's good money, but there's a lot on the back end that goes
Sure.
into it.
Right.
And
Well, you mentioned stickers. I want to ask about that because I've seen some people that use stamps, some people that use stickers, some people
mhm.
that just don't do any branding at all on their cups. Why do you do stickers for one? And have you found that makes a difference in your marketing or return customers?
Oh, 100%. Um, I actually so okay, well, I'll answer this question, then I'll add something to it. But we see all the time where there are, events where other people will be selling lemonade and they don't have any of the branding, right?
Mhm.
Well, like, how do people know where you got it from? Like, what if somebody wants your lemonade? Like, they don't know which one to go to, but they know
Mhm.
which one to go to for us,
Yeah, that's a good
right?
point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're at a
Um,
big event, people are walking around, they don't know where
Now,
your stand
and
is.
it also depends on like what's your end goal for your business? Like, do you just want to show up to an event and you're happy with that? Or like some people don't do social media. Like I do social media. I want my social media to take off. I want people to see what we're doing. I want people to know who we are. Partially because this is really fun for me. Partially because I have so many people asking me tons of questions all the time. I like that. So I want people to know who I am. I want people to see my label, my branding, and be like, "Oh yeah, I know that girl. Oh, I follow her on social media. Oh, I love that brand. Oh, they have the cutest trailers. Oh, I want to hire them for this." Like you're going to they're going to associate that with me.
Right.
If there's a blank cup, like they're not. Now, as far as stamps go, it really is just preference. Like stamps, you can only do one color, right? Mine,
Mhm.
like my whole logo is multiple colors. I don't know if you've seen it, but like I have a pink and white striped like Airstream trailer. It's colorful. It has a huge lemonade marquee sign. Like I need people to see the cup that matches the trailer, you know?
Mhm.
They they are one. They are,
Yeah.
um and you can also buy cups that have your logo on them, but usually you can only do like two color max. And it is a little more expensive. Well, I don't want to do that. Like, I'll just take the time and sticker cups.
Mhm.
Did you feel that the stickers then were, like, the most cost-effective option for labeling over, like, that stamp thing or having cups printed for you? You feel doing the
Well,
stickers
yeah,
was
because the stamp thing, like that's gonna cut that's gonna run out more,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Um, I have never done it where like I don't know how long it lasts, like as far as the ink and
Mm,
whatnot. I don't know if
right.
you have to buy special ink. I don't. But like with the stickers, like I don't. n- Nothing's gonna smudge. Nothing's gonna be on there. I get all the colors that I want. They're waterproof.
Yeah.
Um, it looks how I want it to look, and it's going to take the same amount of time to sticker as it is to stamp or, something
Right.
else.
Good point.
So,
Yeah.
like you're going to have to do one or the other. So I just choose the sticker. I personally like the way it looks better. I think
Mhm.
you can put like a bolder thing on it, like a bolder l-
Logo or
yeah, thank you.
mhm.
Well,
Um
wouldn't a rock break it? Boulder, get it? Ha 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 ha. Ha. What's the cost of what's the cost for stickers?
So it depends on where you buy them, but like I make mine in Canva. I'll like make my logo in Canva, and then I find a supplier on Temu.
Hmm.
And
So
I
you order them this big and they show up this big?
No, they're like, I'll make
All
the
true to size.
nice try. Yeah, no, um there's like different sizes you can order, but I get the 3.15-inch ones, and
Mhm.
I just upload the file into Temu, and I find the supplier that has good reviews, and that's what I get. And usually like I just bought I think 5,000 stickers. I paid, I want to say like $137 or something like that for them.
Oh, that's pretty cheap. That's pretty cost
Yeah.
effective.
Yeah,
So what's your most time consuming thing that you do as a lemonade owner, as a lemonade stand owner?
definitely the stickering.
The
Granted,
stickering
we
is the
don't.
most time
Yeah,
consuming?
yeah. Now, granted, we don't have to do it all the time. We'll do like thousands in a day, and then be done with it. But that's like the thing that takes us the longest amount of time. We're not. There's nothing else that is like
Super time
besides like,
consuming.
oh, I need to drive to Sam's Club and I need to get a whole bunch of lemons, and I need to get sugar and whatever. Like, but like prepping for an event, even two events, right? Or a whole weekend, like it still takes one day, maybe a few, 3, 4, 5 hours, depending on how long, your event is.
Right. How do you decide how much you're going to do? Because we have our first event coming up in September, and it's a carriage classic, which is a horse thing.
Oh,
And
nice.
they said there's 1,000 people that go. So do we set up for 200 people to buy, or do we? I mean, obviously, 1,000 people aren't going to buy lemonade from us. But
Yeah.
what kind of
Our initial
mathematical
inventory.
skills,
Yeah.
or how do you? I mean, how do you figure out what you're going to do and how many people you're going to serve?
Okay, so there's like a few things, and you have to kind of assess this like per event, right? But like typically, you want to expect just that you're going to serve like maybe 10% of whoever's going to be there. But
Hmm.
what's the event, right? Like, what's the event? Like,
Like, what's the
are
demographic,
are
right?
you the only people supplying drinks? Is there going to
Right.
be a food person? Like, are how long is it? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like, let's say it's, oh, I don't know,
Well, it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event, and I'm thinking we'll do Friday and Saturday, and Sunday is kind of a wrap up.
and it's
You
like
know what I
what, a
mean?
1,000 people per day?
I don't know if it's 1,000 per day or 1,000 for the event, honestly.
Oh, okay. Well, so I would say probably like 200 would be generous for
Hmm.
1,000 people. Um, if you're the only vendor there.
And
Um,
I don't think we're going to be the only vendor. I believe that the association that puts it on is doing food, and I think that a friend of mine that helped us get in told them that we would donate some money back. That's why they let us in. So I think we're the only outside vendor besides them selling stuff. And you know
food
what I mean?
so food vendors don't typically sell a lot of drinks if there's like a specialty drink option. Um,
Oh, okay.
just always something to consider, because some occasionally, there'll be like, barbecue trucks or another thing that also sells lemonade. And usually they don't sell as much as somebody that's just lemonade does, like this
Mhm.
actual specialty drink person. It's just more fun for people to buy, this other way.
Oh,
Um,
that's a good way to look at it, actually. And then would you sell water at that too, or would you not want
I
to take away from the opportunity of somebody buying an $8 lemonade?
I do sell water, but you don't sell very many of them. It's not,
Okay.
people aren't lined up to buy water.
Are you
They're
selling it
not.
for $1? Are you selling it for what's the price
So
point
I
on a
sell it
water?
for 3, so I don't sell the bottled water. I just sell it like in the 32-ounce cups. So I sell it for
Oh,
$3. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
And then how do you use what are you using for a water source?
So in both of our trailers, we now we have it to where like we have like a freshwater RV tank. And we have it set up on like a pump system with essentially like um it's like a water gun, but not like the one bartending. It's just
Okay.
just for it's like just for water. And it's like
Mhm.
um yeah, it's just for water. And we use that. Um and
So
we have it.
do you fill up from your hose at home, or do you buy the 5 gallons of water and dump it
Yeah,
in there?
what's your water source?
So we use it for we use oh my god, we use the hose water.
Okay.
But you have to filter it. So we have a filtration system inside of the trailer, and we put a filter on the hose so it's double filtered when it goes into the tank. You have to do that. You can't just fill up hose
Right.
water.
So we were thinking for our first, because I bought 6 cases of 24, the
Bottled
water that
water.
everybody drinks, bottled
Uh-huh.
water, and they were cheap at Menards, at the hardware store, and so I
Oh
bought them.
yeah.
It was like $3 for a 24 pack, and I
Uh-huh.
when we made some test lemonades, you could use 2 bottles to make 3 lemonades.
So I wouldn't
So
do I would probably get rid of
the bottle,
that system once you're
okay,
out of water bottles, or just forego that
Mhm.
completely.
uh
It's
huh,
going to take you a long time. Um, and mind you, not a long time, but if you're like serious, going to get into this and do this, like every second counts, right? So we did have 5-gallon water jugs at first. No, we still used the pump system, but if I were doing what you were doing, I would do like the 5-gallon jugs and have just like the gravity fed
hmm,
setup for it. It's going to be way faster. You're not messing with opening bottles, you know, sometimes having to open another bottle halfway through another lemonade, because it was already a half bottle. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yep,
like you're gonna it's gonna go way faster for the gravity fed stand. Um it's like $15. And then,
Yeah.
we get all of our 5-gallon jugs. Like we do have a whole bunch because we also, for like really big events, if it's multi-day, we still need to bring the jugs to fill up our tanks, to refill our tanks. So
hmm,
we have to like refill with all of our 5-gallon jugs. Um, so I would get the gravity fed because I don't know if you guys have like a twice the ice there, or even, Walmart, like you can fill up water jugs.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
the investment in the water jugs, I mean, like if you go, it's like the Primo jugs at Walmart, but the brand new 5-gallon jugs filled with water are like $15. So you have all the jugs and then you can just refill them, whatever. Um, and refilling them like at twice the ice, it's $1 for 5 gallons.
oh, that's cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
refills are cheap. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think Walmart's like 250 or, 275, something like that, to
Hmm.
refill the jug. So still significantly cheaper and a lot more flow effective.
Sure.
Okay.
Workflow improvement, and it's just a lot less waste, obviously,
Yeah.
as well. The
Yes.
bottles are a lot of waste.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what's your best sales technique? I can tell that you're into the social media, and I could see just by your personality that would probably help to sell a lot. But what is a good sales technique for somebody that's just getting into doing it?
Honestly, like I don't sell, right? The product essentially sells itself. What I think the big thing is for me is like the way that I have set up everything to look, like draws people in. And then of
Hmm.
course, like I'm friendly, I'm personable, and I'm always like, "Oh, do you follow us on Facebook? Like, oh, will you take a picture and tag us? Like, oh, thank you so much." Like, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
I know
do.
exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's really, it's kind of like a combination of everything where like people are people want cute, people like
A
curated
gimmick.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They love it.
Yeah.
Um and again, like I don't know if you guys looked at our other stuff, but like our trailers are super cute.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I really loved how you did the inside of your trailer with the lemons and the
oh,
yeah.
oh,
With
the
like
horse trailer one.
yeah, is it like contact paper or wallpaper or what
Yeah, it
is
was just wallpaper.
that's really, really
Um
cute. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and like our other one, the big pink and white stripe one with like the, huge lemonade marquee sign, and the
Mhm.
inside is all vinyl wrapped with like a really cool print and everything. And people just like it. They're like, it again,
Eye-catching.
it's the gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say gimmick. I feel like that like, but
It
it's not the right word. It's just an experience, right? You want to
right.
make yours an experience. There's a bazillion people that sell lemonade. What makes yours better?
Right.
Yeah,
When
what
it's your
sets you
brand,
apart?
it's your trademark.
Yeah. Which
I
if
have
some people, yeah.
oh, it's I'm sorry. I was gonna say I have a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And so first of all, like sugar versus syrup. Do you prefer sugar or simple syrup? Or have
I
you done
prefer
tried
sugar.
okay. And why is
That's
that?
just me. I just think it gives like the effect of genuine, like old-fashioned lemonade. Like when lemonade became a thing, like they weren't using simple syrup. It was sugar,
Sugar. Yep.
you know?
Okay. That's yeah, fair
Um,
enough. And so when you decided, did you decide to do flavors right off the bat, or did you just go with traditional lemonade at first and then incorporate flavors later?
no, we did flavors right off the bat, and we actually did too many, which that happens a lot. Like you want to give, you think, oh, people love options. People don't love options.
Right.
People do
No,
not love
simple.
options.
Keep it
Simple,
Keep it
simple,
simple,
stupid.
stupid.
That's
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the whole kids
Um,
thing. Keep it simple.
and a lot of them, like, we didn't sell that many of. Like, I thought watermelon would be, going crazy. I thought the cherry flavor would go crazy. Like, nope. So we still have, like, we have less than 10, but at first we had like 20 flavors.
Mhm.
And, and a lot of businesses do have that many, but I'm trying to get people through a line, right?
Right. Right.
Like a lot of people have decision anxiety, ordering anxiety, like give them less options, they'll still order.
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
we
you said you used to be a bartender. I
mhm.
deal with it every time I work. What beers do you have? Blah 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 blah. Okay, I have a Miller Lite. I just
Yeah.
read you
Yes,
75
exactly,
beers
exactly.
and you
They're
want a
still
Miller
gonna
Lite.
go
Come
with
on.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still gonna do it. We are not hindered by having less options in any capacity. If anything, it enhances what we're able to sell in a day because people are in line for less time because they don't have this ordering anxiety, you
Yeah,
know?
and tons
Are
of
you
choices.
hand muddling? Are you using a muddling machine? Are you using a juicer? How are
Like a
We
you
press?
We have okay, so in the tent setup, we have a manual press. I don't
Okay.
muddle. Like not with a muddler. But we have a manual press in the tent setup only because we want the tent setup to not have to have any kind of like plug in anything whatever, right?
Right.
In the trailers, we have a pneumatic press. Um
Mm.
so it is run by, in one of the trailers, we have it set up on a CO2 system. The new trailer, we set it up on a air compressor, and we're going to set up the horse trailer eventually, hopefully by the end of the summer, on the on the air compressor also.
talking about all these positive things? What's a negative thing that happened? How did you overcome that?
I mean, I really haven't had any like bad experiences, honestly. The only thing that like one time, and this is part of the reason we don't do CO2 anymore. So or we don't want to do CO2. But one time we got a CO2 tank that was supposed to be full at like a busy event, and it was not full. It was empty. And so our other tank was empty. We had to switch to the new tank that was full, and it was also empty. And we got it like directly from Praxair empty like that. Like it wasn't full. So like we did have to hand muddle, and we didn't have a muddler.
Oh,
And
jeez.
I had to like ask the place that we were at, like if they had something that I could use. Unfortunately, they did, but it like slowed us down a lot. I mean, we were still able to do everything like successfully, but that was like kind of a panic in the moment.
Yeah.
Um, and then like this past weekend, I had an event where like I could not get on the Wi-Fi. Like my device would just not get on the Wi-Fi. So then like I had to use my phone. I do have Square downloaded to my phone, like just in case. But you can only take like tap to pay and cash, of course. You can't like run a card on it.
Mm,
Um, you could do a manual input, but manual, like they charge more to run a card manually, and plus it
mm.
like takes way longer. Then you have a code on your phone. So it was like a pain in the butt. And then I was swarmed by bees. So it was
Oh,
like
yeah.
there was like 50 bees inside the trailer. Like it was nuts. But that was really the only thing that's ever happened. For the most part, like between my husband and I, like we kind of are both over preparers and make sure that everything is good to go like beforehand. If there was ever anything that was like maybe a truly like bad experience, it would probably be something like outside of our control that had nothing to do with like actual selling lemonade. Like, maybe the event was a disaster. And that would be like a coordination issue, or like
Mm.
maybe, let's say maybe a maybe one of our pumps goes bad or something, like while we're in the midst of doing, like,
Mhm.
there's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
And I
yeah.
also wanted to ask then, just kind of to back up a little bit to more of like the beginning of the process. I know do you operate solely out of Missouri or multiple states?
So we are in multiple states because of where we live. So
Okay.
where we live, we are like right on the border of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas.
Okay.
So we travel to, like, literally we're like 30 minutes in each direction from all of those states. So we go a lot of places.
Okay. And then how did you find the process for like licensing inspections? Like when you do a tent setup, were you always required to have an inspection by the local health department before you started your event, or um,
Well, so
we've
the
already
health
looked into licensing around here too. Some of the Wisconsin things are pretty straightforward, but we need like a transient retail sales license, and we need like for this local event we're going to do, I believe we have to have an inspection. But if we're going to be a tent event, what are they inspecting? That's my question.
So the tent, you have to have a hand washing system
Okay.
and a sanitation system.
Mm-hmm.
So typically, like, and I have pictures of this. Like, you can go through my social media, and it will show you. But like on the back table, we do like three little tubs, and they can
Mm-hmm.
be small, um, of water. So you do need like an additional thing of water, like just for your like sanitation and hand washing system.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so you'll do three tubs. The three tubs are going to be like um your wash, rinse, and then sanitize. So you'll need like dish soap. One of them will be rinse, and then the second one or the third one will be like, you can do like the sanitation tabs, or you can just do bleach. It needs to be like a really, really tiny amount. There's I know I sent you the PDF that I have,
Yeah.
yeah, because but the PDF that I have for the lemonade, like, tent setup, um, it also will show you like what are they called? They're like the test strips. So you make
Oh,
sure that you
sure.
don't have like too much, sanitizer in there. It needs to be like a certain like parts per million. And then you need a hand washing system. So you need either like a jug with the spout that can stay on when you're washing your hands, like a drink dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
But you would just put water in it, and then you need a tub below it to catch the water. So overall, you need four tubs plus like the drink dispenser to be able
Oh,
to, wash your
very.
hands. And
Right.
so the health department will look at that. Um, some places um, require sidewalls for your tent. I know
Oh.
not all of them. I don't know. I think Florida requires like four sidewalls, so your entire tent has to be enclosed. Um,
So then you're like this. Hey, find me. I'm over
yeah,
here.
it's kind of
And you're
stupid. But
and you're
there
dying of the
are they
heat.
Mhm, and they do make tents that, have, um, like, little windows, basically, that you can, like, pass through, take an order, and then they pass through these, like, little windows in the tents.
Right.
But,
Right. So it's
um
similar to a food tent. I have a follow up question to something you said earlier. You said both you and your husband are over preparers. One of the questions I was going to ask leading up to you saying that was, what happens if you run out of lemons in the way?
Oh,
Because I'm
yeah,
sure that's probably happened in the past.
it
So
actually happened the other day.
so answer that real quick, and then I have a follow up question on that.
Okay. So the other day we had our oldest daughter was in town with her family, and we had this event on Thursday that we do in Joplin called Third Thursday, and it's like their food truck
Mhm.
event. So far this year we've done April, May, and June, and so far, like, it's a fairly slow event. There's a lot of food trucks there. There is a lot of people, but hand out a lot of like free stuff and whatever else, like, at this event.
Mhm.
We've never sold more than like 75 at this event. It's just a 3-hour event, so even 75 is like, you make enough to make it worth your while, but
Right.
it's never been anything crazy. So we were like, well, we're going to have our daughter and her boyfriend run it this time because it was the kids' last day with us, and we're like, we're just going to have you guys run it. We put 90 lemons in there, like, you're good for the night, right? Our daughter texts us like an hour into it and she was like, "We have 19 lemons left. We need lemons." And I
Mm.
was like, I had just gotten back home. I had a whole bunch of lemons, but they were for other events. And I was like, "You're joking." And I'm like 30 minutes away. So I'm like, "Okay." She texts me as I'm like 20 minutes away still. "Mom, we've got five lemons left." I'm like, I'm 20 minutes out. Anyway, my husband's like, "There's no way they're that busy. They miscounted. They're like," and I'm like, "They you you're out of your mind." I'm like, "They can count." He's like in denial because this event has never been like this. Anyway, we end up selling like I went. I had to stay the rest of the time. Got our absolute asses handed to us. We ended up selling like almost 200 lemons or like
Wow.
almost 200 lemonades in 3 hours, which is like it's a crazy amount. Cuz we make them made to order. We don't like prep them. Some people do
Right.
prep so they have some on hand. We don't do that. Every single one of them is made when they order it. 200 is a lot for a 3-hour period. And the fact that it was like 175, but we ran out for like 25 minutes. So we would have
Wow.
sold like well over 200 had we not run out. So in
Okay. So
that
then
case, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, then the follow-up question is, what happens if, obviously you guys have a lot of things planned out in within the next few weeks of doing one, but what happens if you bought 200 lemonades for this event that only sells 22 lemonades? What do you do with those 178 lemons that you had?
So if we have time, we'll just do a pop-up like in town and we'll be like, we'll set up and just go out and post, "Hey, we're going to be out today, come get whatever." And we try and sell as much as we can. And then if they go bad, like we just trash them. Fortunately,
Okay.
like we haven't had to trash like that many.
You can't
Um
freeze them or anything. You can't do anything, or all of a
so
sudden you're
we
having Chanel's lemon meringue pie day
I'm a lot of things, but a baker is not one of them, unfortunately. Um no,
incorporated into that makeup.
yeah.
It
Um,
gets rid of the wrinkles. Wow.
we honestly like we'll put them on ice if we can, like in the cooler. Um, it it might give us like a couple extra days. But I would say
Okay.
for the most part, lemons are good for about like a week. The
All
shelf
right.
life is pretty decent on them. So if we have a weekend where like we don't sell them all, we try and at least like, we'll sell those, on the next weekend, worst case scenario, as long as they're still good.
How do you clean your lemons?
We do like a vinegar bath for them. So we'll put them in like a big tub and then we what's the part? Like my husband is the one that does it most of the time. Um, well, we do like vinegar in the water with obviously swish
Mhm.
them around, let them sit in there for like 15 minutes, and then we just rinse them in another big tub full of water.
Do you use a little scrubby brush? Do you ever do that? Like,
You don't really like no, you
just
don't
like
necessarily need to. For the most part, like this last batch that we got, they were like kind of like actually dirty, so we did have to do that. But for the most part, like no, you
okay.
just kind of got to put them in there and swirl them around, and you know what I mean.
Mhm.
And a lot like the vinegar and stuff like helps take off like what if there's coating on it or
Right,
anything
like
like
a
that.
waxy sometimes they have a wax coating or something.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name Lively?
Lively
Oh, because
lemons.
my husband didn't want to name it what I wanted to name it.
What'd you want to name it?
I wanted to name it Lemon La Vida.
Living Lemon La Vida.
Lemon
Yeah,
La
Right,
Lemon La
Vida
right.
Vida
Loca.
Loca. Yeah. He was like, "I don't think people are gonna get that." And it
I
was like
got it
one
right
of
away. I got it right
I
away.
know, I know. And I still to this day wish that it was called that, but I will give him his win. And so then we were just going over like I don't know, a bunch of different names. And then he was like, "What about Lovely Lemon?" And I was like, no. I'm like, that's like too frou-frou for me. Which like I know my brand is frou-frou, but like I myself am not frou-frou. And so I was like, no. And then there was kind of this thing of like how like I kind of felt like this was gonna like bring me back to life. And so I was like, what about lively? And he was like, yeah, I like that. And so
Like
that's
it.
what happened.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So what did you find out in the course of doing this that you wish that you would have known on day one?
As far as like a trailer setup, I definitely wish that we would have started with the air compressor versus the CO2. Um, I think as a tent setup, okay, as a tent setup, I definitely wish that we had a vehicle that actually held more product for
Mm.
tents. So like truck or I wish that we had a like maybe a
Like a trailer or a little enclosed
yeah,
trailer or
yeah,
something?
yeah, like a small enclosed trailer for it, especially if you, like, need more water, want to preserve your ice longer. I think next year we will buy something like that so we can keep all of that in there, but, like, eh I have a Yukon, so, like, I
That's a big
can
vehicle.
fit
Yeah.
everything in there and whatnot, but 5-gallon jugs are heavy. If you want anybody else to run it for you, especially, like, kids are great to pay. Like, teenagers are it's honestly, like, they're perfect for this kind of thing. Um, if you're relying on them to set it up, especially, like, maybe girls and whatnot, it is harder for them to, like, load and unload, like, 5-gallon jugs,
Mhm.
especially from a vehicle that's, like, high up. Um, so I would maybe just want, like, a different, like, storage option, and again, and you guys will probably wanna know this. 5 gallons of water gets you roughly 50 to 60 drinks.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
good
good
thing
to
to know.
know.
That's a very good thing to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, 50 to 60. Um, Obviously, it kinda, like, depends on the size of the lemons, because some of the
Mhm.
lemons are bigger than others, ice configuration, some of the ice, like, you can even if you fill it up to the same amount, it just depends on, like, how the ice falls and you know what I mean? You
Right.
can kind of fit more water in one or the other, so it does 50 to 60. So if you're doing an event that's, like, all day long, and let's say it's a tent setup, and you're doing, 50 lemonades an hour, well, you're gonna need, like, 8 5-gallon jugs, like, that's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a
Mhm.
It
lot.
is a
It's honestly that's a lot more than I thought you'd have.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
yeah, no,
so
like and 50 lemonades an hour, like, at first when we first started doing this, like, that was a lot for us to get out, but now we can, like, easily do, like, 75. Maybe if
well,
it's, like, my husband and I just by ourselves, like, we could do 75 and, like, boom, 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 but that's with, like,
people that
experience
know
and
what they're
stuff.
doing, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have just in our little conversation that we've had on text and now on this, as you can tell, my mind goes a million miles an hour, and it's always trying to figure something out. And last week I was driving
I
home
feel that.
from.
I relatable.
So last week I was driving home, and this idea popped in my head: fork and pickle. So you know how just instead of saying F and pickle, a fork and
Oh, yeah.
put a fork, put it in a pickle jar, pull out a pickle, and sell a pickle on a fork, and
Oh, mhm.
call it a fork and pickle. What do you think of that? You think that would go well with the old lemonade?
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Um,
And I even came
we
up with a logo. I'll send you the logo if you want to. If you want to take that idea and run with it too, I would. I'd
well,
love to have somebody else do fork and pickle because I think it's a great idea.
I don't like pickles, so I'm not gonna do that, but
You're
I
not selling to yourself, Chanel. You're selling to people. You're selling to people that want
I
it.
know,
You're trying to make some money.
but a pickle doesn't fit my brand,
Okay, that's fair.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah,
But
That is fair.
but, um, I did see the other day somebody they weren't selling lemonade, it was like a treat, like a snacks truck, whatever.
right.
But they used the slicer, like the same slicer essentially that I have,
Uh-huh.
to cut an apple, which like I'm like, is it the same slicer now? Because I'm like, how do you core it? Whatever.
How do they core? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they
Well,
core
whatever.
that?
I'm still gonna figure this out. But um they used a slicer like the one I have, to cut an apple, and then they put it in a cup, and then they drizzled like the caramel drizzle, put the nuts on it, whatever. So essentially like they were selling caramel apples. Um
Nice.
and you could like do the different toppings and stuff. And because none of that like has to be refrigerated, it's not like food that you have to cook and stuff, like we're going to start selling that in September. So we're going to have like
Nice.
a fall food item.
Like,
Also,
yeah.
we sell boba with our drinks. I don't
Oh,
have it at every event. I'm going to start having it at every event. I'm going to like permanently put it on the menu. But
Uh-huh.
boba, like the popping boba, is a great option.
In lemonade? Inside a lemonade?
We sell
Huh.
the freaking nards off of it.
Really?
uh yeah, we sell a lot of it. And we do a $2 upcharge, and we do like a quarter, just a quarter cup of the popping boba. And
Mhm.
we only have the strawberry flavor, but like people love it.
Well,
so
strawberry
popping
lemonade's a
boba.
big thing.
I don't know if I've heard
Mhm.
of popping boba. Is that like Pop Rocks type thing? Like, I know
No, no,
boba is, but I mean,
it's like a little gel ball
uh-huh.
basically that like you bite it and it just
They're
like pops,
tapioca
and
they're
Oh,
tapioca,
there's like
just like a boba tea.
no, they're not tapioca.
Oh, they're not, okay.
No, it's not like the black tapioca balls. They're like these little, I don't know, they're like
Where do you
gel.
find those?
are they just like liquid filled gelatin balls?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, so
Yeah.
when I tested it out, I bought them off of oh, I bought them off
You
of
bought them
Amazon.
off Amazon? Okay.
Yeah. Um, but I have been buying from this company called Boston. It's like Bossen, and I buy it from there. They do wholesale.
Very cool.
So,
So if you were to give one piece of advice to somebody just starting this business off, what would you say?
oh, one piece. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I would say is like one piece. Um, I guess like the all encompassing is like this is absolutely worth it. And if something doesn't work the first time, don't second guess yourself of like, is this a good idea? Am I wasting my time? Like you're not. Just keep seeing what works. Like this is like a
Mhm.
process of elimination. You just or trial and error. The whole thing is trial and error. You're not going to figure everything out the first time. It's it's a learn as you go kind of experience. And I didn't talk to anybody about anything when I first started this. Like, yeah, I followed some people, but I didn't learn about sales tax. I didn't learn about where I could buy stuff. It was like you just figure out what
You just
works
did
for
it.
you.
Yeah.
And every new event is going to be, you're going to learn something. You're going to figure out what kind of events you want to do. You're going to figure out what kind of events you don't want to do. Everybody's different. What might work for you where you live might, may not be something I'd want to do, or you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you just want to personalize it to like what works for you, and then and go from there.
Monique, do you have any last questions?
Um, I don't think I really do. I guess what my takeaway from all this is just to kind of start simply, right? And
Mhm.
then grow it from there and just
Yeah.
and we do what works best for us.
I I guess I will say this too. Start simple, but do something that makes yours stand out from someone else. Like,
Mhm.
whether it be your logo, your signage, your menu, like the way that have it set up. Cause are you guys doing tent?
For our first event, we're doing tent. We do have a trailer that, we have to get ready, like, it needs some work. So we do
Mhm.
have a trailer, and we will eventually, um, do have our trailer instead of a tent, but, for our first event, because it's coming up so soon, it's going to be a
Mhm.
tent event. Yeah.
Um, I would definitely recommend, if you guys can, to set up your tent and do like a whole run through before you ever get to your actual, first event,
Right,
because you're going
okay.
to want to set everything up like on an
Oh,
assembly
yeah.
line.
Test run,
And then
yeah,
Um,
kinda
yep.
and learn the whole muscle memory of everything too.
Yeah, and the
yes,
workflow. Sure.
and you'll, I don't know, keep it up for a day, keep it up for 2 days, work in it,
Mhm.
make a whole bunch of lemonades for an hour, or a couple hours. Even, one thing that we did that I do think was really helpful is we did like a community event where we just set up on my in-laws property, but like where they are is like it's like a highway frontage, so there was a lot of people that could like come by, but we did like a free event.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's a great
And-
Well,
idea.
we live in a huge town of 191 people.
But we do live, yes, but we do live on a state highway that gets a lot of traffic. So,
Yeah, so
a lot of
I
people
would
drive through
like,
our town, and we can
know-
set up really close to the road.
Yeah, so I would do something where like if you start your Facebook page, you get all your branding, make a couple of lemonades just in your kitchen, self-muddle them, whatever.
Mhm.
Take some pictures, post, add yourself to like local groups and stuff, and be like, hey, we're doing this like free lemonade day and just be like, we're doing it from 11 to 1 or 12 to 2. Come by, get a free lemonade, and have it be like I would just consider it like, call it your soft launch, so people
Right.
understand that this is like your first time.
Or
That's
like
actually a great idea.
test
I had
kitchen
not
type
even thought about that.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would highly, highly, highly recommend doing that,
Yeah.
especially because when you're doing your actual first event, you want people to like, this is people see you. People are like, oh, do you guys do private events? Are you going to be at this other event? Like, they want to see that like,
Right.
essentially know
Know what we're
you're
doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look at us. We look like we know what we're doing. Hey, Chanel, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, but about like the podcast, I want to know about the podcast.
All right, we'll talk about that after we get done here. So, the reason I found you is through your Facebook. Tell me about your socials. Where can we find you? Where can we find your book on starting a lemonade stand? How do we find out more just about who Chanel is and your business?
Well, all of my socials for the lemonade are just Lively Lemon Lemonade. It's like that for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I have Pinterest, but I haven't posted on there like I need to. I'm actually going to do that today. My stand store is also Lively Lemon Lemonade, which is like where I sell the PDF. I have like a couple of different things in there where you can like sign up for email, so you can get like email updates. I sell the how to start a lemonade stand, the tent version. I sell that for $14.97. And the good thing about the tent guide is that even though it's all of the things that you need for a tent, um, everything else in it applies to any kind of setup that you're using. So as far as like marketing, branding, insurance, um, you know, I mean, just all sorts of stuff like recipes, ideas, all that. Where you get everything, it applies, like I said, to the trailer or a tent setup. But yeah, all of that is through Lively Lemon Lemonade. You can find it
Do you have is it .com?
everywhere. No, so
Do you
like if it's Facebook, it's like facebook.com / Lively Lemonade. Same with TikTok and Instagram, or like
Okay.
at Lively Lemon Lemonade.
Why didn't you buy the domain name?
So I haven't yet, only because I can't decide.
Buy it before somebody else takes it.
You might be right.
Even if you don't do anything with it right away. Yeah.
I know I'm right, because like we're doing Driftless Drinks. That's the name of our business. Guess who bought that? Guess who bought that domain name? Guess if there's anything on there yet? There's not. Guess who bought Fork and Pickle?
I need to. I just haven't. I guess. I also want to do like, I think a website that is more designed for, like business, like how to
But
start a business.
honestly,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
I know
but
I
honestly,
should buy
you
it
don't even
right.
need to do you don't even need to do a
Probably do
website
that,
right
like,
now.
right after I get off here.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do that right now. Buy the domain name, put your link tree right on there, so that way somebody can go to, Lively Lemon Lemonade and get your book, get your information on where you're going to be, put your Facebook, put your Instagram, put your, put all of your things on there, so that way you don't have to, that way you don't have to worry about it,
Yeah. I know.
Anything else, guys? I'm wrapping this stuff up. Anything else?
I don't have any other questions, but I just
Well,
wanted to.
I
Yeah.
hope you guys kill it. I hope you guys kill it. You'll,
Yeah.
if you have any kind of personality, like you're gonna do great. So
I have zero
if you have any
personality.
kind of drive and personality, those two things, like you'll be successful.
Yeah.
So
Zero
I'm excited
personality
for you.
here, Chanel.
Well, thank you
can
for
tell.
sharing your
Zero.
story. Thank you for sharing your story,
Yeah,
Chanel. That was
I'm
really
so
good.
thank you guys. I'm happy you reached out to me. That was just fun.
That was.
So as we wrap up this episode of BS with Bob, I want to thank our special co-host, Monique, and our guest, Chanel, from Lively Lemon Lemonade for sharing the story behind the stand, the business, the hustle, and the people that you never see behind the scenes. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much for listening to the BS with Bob podcast. Basically, it's just me pulling up the metaphorical bar stool and chatting with everyone from entertainers to educators to business owners to marketing gurus. People who've done cool things, survived weird stuff, and have a good story to tell. Please like, subscribe, and share the podcast.